This bill mandates the display of the Ten Commandments in every classroom in public, elementary, secondary, and post-education schools in the state of Louisiana. Because if you want to respect the rule of law, you got to start from the original lawgiver, which was Moses.
Hi people, welcome back. So Louisiana has become the first state in the nation to acquire schools that receive government funds to display the Ten Commandments in schools. The Republican government signed the legislation into the state. This law mandates that a poster-sized display of the Ten Commandments, large, easily readable font, to be required in all public schools from kindergarten to state-funded university. This law has brought a sparked wave of online reaction, so kindly watch these videos and I'll be back.
What would you do if your child's school displayed the 10 Commandments from the Bible in all of the classrooms? Would you be in favor of this or against it? Well, the state of Louisiana will do just that. Today, the governor signed a new law that would require the 10 Commandments be placed in all public schools that receive funding from the state, ranging from kindergarten to universities. The law, which was written by Republican Congress members, calls for the commandments to be placed starting next year in posters with large print and that are easily legible. Critics say this law is unconstitutional, while those who are in favor applaud the measure. But in 1980, the Supreme Court ruled that a similar law from Kentucky was unconstitutional, alleging that Congress cannot make any law establishing a religion. The High Court found that that law had no secular purpose, but rather was only driven by religious purposes. What do you think about this? Are you against it or in favor of this? Follow me for more news. Until next time.
Louisiana becomes the first state to require that the 10 Commandments be displayed in public classrooms. Now, for those who don't know what the 10 Commandments is, it's the commandments God gave to Moses when he was trying to get the people of Israel to act right. So they will be returning to our public school systems, and this is how. If Jeff Landry passed this legislation, there will be a poster-sized, easy-to-read font in every classroom from kindergarten all the way up to universities if it's publicly funded. I don't know how y'all feel about that, because some people are atheists, some people are Buddhists, some people just don't believe in religion or spirituality. So forcing them to pay attention to something that does not pertain to them may ruffle their feathers, but I feel like this year it's time we start bringing God back into the schools, back into our lives, back into our households, because we don't pray no more. We don't pray no more. We don't believe in the Most High no more. We don't promote God within our societies no more. So I feel like this is a big step in resolving the violence within the city and resolving the unnecessary disputes within legislation and the government, because people act wild because God not in their life. So I don't have a problem with it.
The display of the Ten Commandments in every classroom in public, elementary, secondary, and post-education schools in the state of Louisiana.
That video comes to us from Louisiana, where they're going to display the 10 Commandments in all public schools. And if there was ever a video that summed up what Republicans think of children, it's that video right there. As the man is rejoicing, he's signing his bill. The little girl behind him passes out, oblivious, doesn't care, because Republicans do not care about children. What's also funny, they don't want drag queens in schools. They don't want certain books that explore the LGBTQ community in, because we don't want them exposed to sexuality. But isn't one of the 10 Commandments, thou shalt not commit adultery? And wouldn't you have to explain what adultery is to children, which is sexual in nature? Oh, the hypocrites. This is a terrible idea. Surely this will get stricken down. The ACLU has already taken action. A lawsuit's going to happen. But you cannot put one religious group's tenets and beliefs up in the school and ignore the others. But this is what Republicans do. They only want to take their beliefs and shove them in your face. Terrible idea. This is not what America was founded on. Once again, that video, it sums up perfectly Republicans' thoughts on children. Let them pass out as long as we can push our Christian nationalist belief in your face.
So Louisiana adds the 10 Commandments to every public school classroom. And all I'm saying is we are focused on the wrong slates. Louisiana is 49th out of 50 in education ratings. For all intents and purposes, those kids cannot read the 10 Commandments placed into their public classrooms. And if they can read the 10 Commandments, they cannot interpret what those 10 Commandments mean. Critical thinking skills are not being taught. Reading skills are not being taught. And even when they are not being followed through by the machine that lifts a child out of illiteracy. The children have been left behind, and we are waiting for George Bush to be brought up on charges for his crimes.
Louisiana just became the first state to require the 10 Commandments from the Bible to be displayed in all classrooms K through 12, including public universities. It's getting a little fashy in here, and we should definitely be worried. The law says that a poster with large, readable font must be displayed in all classrooms, kindergarten to state-funded universities. You may be wondering, how the fuck does this happen? Basically, the GOP has a stronghold of Louisiana. They have a supermajority. Republicans hold literally every state position in Louisiana, and they've definitely been taking advantage of that. This is Jeff Landry, the Republican governor of Louisiana, and he was quoted as saying, "If you want to respect the rule of law, you've got to start with the original lawmaker, who was Moses." He also bragged at a fundraiser, "I'm going to go home and sign a bill that requires the 10 Commandments be posted in school. I can't wait to get sued." And yes, he probably will be sued for this. The American Civil Liberties Union, Americans United for the Separation of Church and State, and the Freedom from Religion Foundation said in a joint statement, "The law prevents students from getting an equal education and will keep children who have different beliefs from feeling safe at school." This will not be the last time you hear about this law.
You want to see the new crazy thing that Republicans are doing? Well, look at the Republican state of Louisiana, because it is now required by law for Louisiana classrooms to display the 10 Commandments. Seriously. House Bill 71, which was approved by state lawmakers last month and signed into law today by the Republican governor of Louisiana, mandates that a poster-sized display of the 10 Commandments with, quote, large, easily readable font be in every classroom at schools that receive state funding from kindergarten through the university level. So if you live in Louisiana, your tax dollars are now funding this. The legislation specifies the exact language that must be printed on the classroom displays and outlines that the text of the 10 Commandments must be the central focus of the poster or framed document. Whatever happened to separation of church and state? And opponents of the bill have argued the exact same thing, that requiring a religious text in all classrooms would violate the Establishment Clause of the U.S. Constitution. And there was already a Supreme Court case on this, Stone v. Graham, back in the 1980s, and the Supreme Court ruled that you can't have religious text in the classroom. This has already been decided by law, and it wouldn't surprise me if other Republican states follow suit. So this is what they're doing, using people's taxpayer dollars to convince children of their religion. Just totally ignoring the Constitution.
Let me show you what a portrait in stupidity looks like. Check this out. The party of law and order and family values and the party of the little guy is choosing to make this a priority. The governor of Louisiana has mandated that all public school classrooms need to display the 10 Commandments. This is what they've identified as their priority. And you know why that's completely stupid but predictable? This is what they turned down as a priority for the state. To recap, they want the 10 Commandments in public school classrooms, but they don't want to accept federal funds to help feed the hungry. This is a consistent pattern of behavior, and you see it in Louisiana and other states like Louisiana that have a common thread that stitches them all together. What do you typically see? You see all of these fake cosplays of upholding Christianity, but the actual practice is far from it. What more Christian thing can you do than feed the hungry? And you have these idiot governors refusing to do that, but instead creating the performative exercise of being a so-called Christian. You're getting a view into the future of what's going to happen if that sort of stuff goes national.
A new law in Louisiana, 10 Commandments, would lead to various legislation and development. However, this signed law aims to promote moral and ethnic values, but critics argue it may violate the separation of church and states. The First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, known as the Established Clause, say that Congress shall not make a law respecting an established of religion or prohibiting the free exercise of thereof. Those who support it say it would provide a moral framework for students, while those who oppose it see it as a potential violation of the First Amendment. In an effort of government, it is trying to ensure that students in our public schools may understand and appreciate the fundamental document of our state and national government. But what the government is forgetting is that the state is filled with people with different beliefs or no beliefs at all. Some people feel it's unfair to force people from their religion to be posted in public schools or any public place. Do you think what the government has done is a good idea or not? Is it supporting them only, or it is for the good of the people? Kindly share your thoughts in the comment section below. And thank you so much for being part of this conversation. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. See you in the next video, and stay safe.